Welcome to the Beau Show, the home of faith, family, and freedom. Satire is at the heart of free speech and expression. A humorless society is a dead society. In recent weeks, we saw the reinstatement of the Babylon Bee, a satire site that had been banned from Twitter for what it considered to be hate speech. Twitter had demanded that it take down a post about HHS Secretary Rachel Levine, who had been named Woman of the Year. A logical fallacy considering that Levine used to be a man. So the Babylon Bee in turn named Levine the Man of the Year, which put the satire site in Twitter jail. Rather than removing the tweet itself, Twitter wanted the Bee to remove it themselves in an admission of culpability as penance. Well, the Bee refused, and after Elon Musk took over, their account was reinstated. Facebook had also removed a post from the Babylon Bee for an intentionally satirical post about CNN using a washing machine to spin the news before they reported it. As we know, comedy has taken a huge hit in the past few years, as the offended have wanted to get rid of all jokes. If you are what they call a marginalized person, a joke somehow has become off limits. The animated series South Park often hits celebrities to call out their hypocritical absurdity. The show, created by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, is the epitome of a roast. And again, no person is off limits. But there are two individuals with very thin skins who are apparently unnerved about a recent episode called Worldwide Privacy Tour, which aired in February. This episode satirized Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the now dethroned royal couple, by their own choice. We know that Harry and Meghan have said in the past that no one respects their privacy. But you know, that kind of comes with the territory of being a royal and his wife. Markle was an actress and was quite used to publicity campaigns. But the couple has made an array of wild accusations about the royal family, the veracity of which is hard to verify, especially when they know that the royals won't fight back, because it would be highly unusual to respond to such criticism. They are not tabloid friendly, even if tabloids talk incessantly about them. Harry's brother William and his wife Kate Middleton have embraced their roles, even though Kate may have been somewhat of a non-traditional choice for Duchess. Now, we know that other royal family members have also strayed far from royal choices, and Prince Andrew went about as far away from dignified as you can get, with his association with Jeffrey Epstein. But Harry and Meghan, after leaving their royal roles, have gone on a winer's tour. No, not of wineries, but of whining. From Oprah to books to Netflix documentaries, where only they control the narrative. They're trying to say that they are permitted no privacy by going on a worldwide PR tour, hence why this South Park episode is aptly and ironically called Worldwide Privacy Tour. And the funniest moment of the whole episode might be the echo that he hears when he opens her up to see what she has on the inside. Hello? It's as though Parker and Stone take more aim at Meghan Markle than Harry and hold her really responsible for the whole thing. Perhaps many in the royal family and Britons themselves feel the same way. In the end, Kyle seems to still be having this identity crisis, but it is his friends who show up, knock on his door, and tell him to come out and shoot some hoops. They recognize his breakdown. When they go out to shoot hoops, here comes the prince again, who sheepishly asks if he can play, and they agree. And we found out that he meant play the drums, which he does while they play basketball. It was a very sober way of ending the episode and kind of reminding us that we are who we are, and we shouldn't try to be someone else. The only person left to her own druthers is the princess, whom we never see again. See, even though this episode, and South Park in general, has an uncanny way of satire and lampooning real people, there was still a moral to the story. It was a good moral coming out of this story. Maybe even a little unexpected, at least for me. South Park totally roasted the Sussexes. even though they call themselves the Royals of Canada rather than Great Britain for purposes of this episode. But it was brutally honest. But what I thought was just as important was how Harry and Meghan's worldwide privacy tour, if you will, affected normal people. Because they, of all people, considered themselves victims. It encouraged Kyle to go seek help from a brand management expert for his own identity crisis, which seemed to have a common theme: victimhood. It's like, when all else fails, claim to be a victim. Because victims get universal sympathy, and no one wants to punch down on a victim. But if you think about it, comedy like this is punching up. I mean, how much more punching up can you do when the subject matter is a privileged prince and his actress wife? That is no victim. Now, you could make the argument that Prince Harry was stuck in the life of royalty, that he didn't choose it, and just wanted to be one of the common guys. I mean, isn't that the plot of a common Hallmark movie? Prince leaves his life in the fictitious kingdom of Chanelville so that he can go in disguise as a local baker where he accidentally sprays flour all over the town's art teacher. So maybe Harry didn't want the life that he had. But I think that what people take issue with is the way he chose to leave it and the card that he played. While the hardships that he faced might be quite different from the heavily taxed paycheck-to-paycheck citizen, he legitimately might have wanted some normalcy. But instead, he chose a wife that also claimed victimhood. And rather than just going away for a while, they decided to insist upon privacy by writing a series of books and having a camera crew follow them around and move to Los Angeles, where you could not find more paparazzi. I think about George and Amal Clooney, who clearly are top celebs with multiple homes, but somehow they managed to fly under the radar and maintain a level of normalcy. The actor Keanu Reeves is notable for kind of blending into the background and doing his own thing without any fanfare. Matthew McConaughey delivers turkeys to Austin citizens on Thanksgiving, but not as a PR stunt. His book, Greenlights, was not a woe is me account of the painful life of a celebrity, but rather an account of the green lights in his experience that can perhaps guide other people. This is why South Park satirized the Prince's book with the title, "Wah! It's a whiner's account, not a self-help book." It all seems to be neatly packaged as a product. And I want to reiterate that this is not schadenfreude. I don't think anyone is reveling in their misfortune. But if you put yourself out there in this way, playing victim, and you move to LA, you're pretty much setting yourself up. You know, we always hear about the 1%, the 1%, the 1%. Well, that's Harry and Meghan. We hear, pay your fair share. Well, are they? I mean, I don't know how that works, if Harry has some sort of diplomatic immunity, but clearly they are making profit from the books and the documentaries. So that's profit on top of an already cushy life. It's tough to hear someone complain when that's your life. Some analysts have called South Park equal opportunity haters, meaning they ridicule anyone and anything without a particular bias or off-limits cushion. You may remember that in my last episode, as I talked about Governor Ron DeSantis' proposed digital Bill of Rights, that Twitter and Facebook had suspended the account of the Babylon Bee, a satire site. The site often poked fun of politicians and even transgenders. And social media got into the practice of censoring parody and satire posts if they took offense. The truth is that the meme game is very real, and it both makes us laugh and it also keeps things honest. I mean, think of all the memes that you saw about the Chinese spy balloon. But it got your attention, right? And memes call attention to serious issues. Comedy and especially satire have a unique way of doing that. I'm frankly a little surprised that the episode of South Park has not been censored yet. What is interesting is that Harry and Meghan's approval rating, according to a recent Newsweek poll, has dipped. Harry's dipped 3 points to a -10, while Meghan took a dip to a dismal -17. She is definitely more disliked than he is. And this is a drastic shift from 2021 when their favorability was much higher. The current poll has them even more disliked than Prince Andrew, who sits at -2. I think that in part, the rating is the result of South Park, which told the honest truth, but perhaps even more so what the episode called to our attention, which is this worldwide privacy and victimhood tour hurt them way more than it helped them. It made them disfavorable in the public's eyes. And that has translated now from Britain to America. I think that everyone is just simply sick of hearing about them. The more they try to whine, the worse it's going to get for them. They probably need to pull a Will Smith and just disappear for a while. And when they do make a headline, it needs to be an unexpected one. And I don't mean some faux philanthropy or bandwagon move. It needs to be authentic. The way that Kyle realizes he needs to be genuine, since seeking others' approval by changing his brand is just a desperate and futile attempt. I really like this episode of South Park because it serves several functions. First, it uses satire to highlight a true story, but it also brings it down to a human level. It's not just the obnoxiousness of the royal couple, it's what it teaches other people, that they can always fall back on the victim card, rather than embracing their authenticity and self-development. It may seem mean-spirited to Harry and Meghan, but it also offers an opportunity not just for them, but for society to reflect upon this issue. Teenagers have major identity crises right now. They are taking cues from popular people who often don't have any sense of self themselves.
Keep watching at epochtv.com/The Beau Show.